So we're trading currencies, right? So whatever news are going to happen regarding a specific currency are going to affect the price of that currency, depending on how high of an impact those news are going to have on that specific currency. So how do we know how high of an impact a certain currency is going to have? We see that through this, which is Forex Factory. So Forex Factory tells us everything we need to do, everything we need to know about what's actually going to happen in the markets. So you've got 4 types of folders, right? Right now, we can only see 3. So you've got the yellow folder, you've got the orange folder, you've got the red folder, and you've got the silver folder. So what does the orange folder mean? So you see the orange folder, the yellow folder, they start with the yellow actually. The yellow folder just simply means, low impact news, which means that whatever's going to happen, whatever news are going to be issued out, not going to have that much of an impact on that specific currency. The orange folder is medium impact news, right? So when you want to trade, you want to look at anything that has a yellow and the red folder and the orange folder, the yellow and the orange folder, right? The low and the medium impact news. But you have to be very cautious and very careful when you're trading with the orange folders, right? You let's just put it out there. You want yellow folders, right? That's when you know that the market is clean. You can actually start trading. See here, we have a lot of yellow folders, which means that, right now, for what it is that we're supposed to do and what we want to do, we're free flowing. We can actually start taking, trades, right? So that is just simply what this means, right? So now the red folders are high impact news. See, so you want to stay away from the specific currency when it's on a red folder, right? Because remember, we're trading high frequency trading, high frequency Forex, high frequency foreign exchange market, which means that we're making money in minutes. It's time-based trading. So you don't want to, be around a currency pair or a currency that's going to have high impact, which means that it's going to have a lot of volatility, right? So you want to stay away from the red and also the silver. See the silver, right, or the white, when there is a bank holiday. See, for example, the euro, right, for the whole day is on a holiday. So what does that mean? It means that the banks for the euro aren't going to be trading, which means that this currency is going to be moving very, very slow today. So anything against the euro, you do not want to start trading. Why? Because it's going to move very, very slow because nothing is being pushed into circulation. No amount of money is going out because the banks are closed. So if you understand these 4 different folders, drop some 222s in the chat box, or 333s, drop some 333s in the chat box if you understand the different types of folders and what they represent. If you understand the different types of folders and what they represent, drop some 333s. Okay, awesome. I see the 3s. So you always want to, so when you're trading, you always want to look at 2 types of folders, right? You want to look at the yellow folders and you want to look at the orange folders. See, those are indication that, you can actually start looking and analyzing those different currency pairs. The trades, the idea that you don't want to look at, the news you don't want to look at is anything to do with the red folders and anything to do, with the silver or white folder, because this just simply means we have a bank holiday and this is high impact news. So you don't want to, jump on that market. See, now that we see that, okay, we're actually free flowing, what do we do next? We go check the strength of the specific currencies that we actually want to trade. So let me just refresh this page. So this is the currency strength meter, right? Currency strength meter. So this is basically where, we measure the strength of a specific currency against, another currency that we actually want to start trading. For example, if we can see here, AUD-JPY. AUD-JPY is a currency pair, right? A currency pair meaning there's 2. So AUD being the base and JPY being the quote. So the base is always the first currency, the quote is always the second currency, right? So AUD-JPY, we can see something here. So what do we see here? We see that the second currency, which is JPY, is actually stronger than the first currency, which is AUD. So what does that mean, right? It means that when the second currency is stronger than the first currency, we're looking for sell opportunities, right? When the first currency is weaker than the second currency, when the second currency is stronger than the first currency, we're looking for what? We're looking for sell opportunities. Now, here's another example, NZD-USD. See NZD right now. So this is the currency pair we're looking at right now, NZD USD. NZD is the base currency, USD is a quote currency, right? So what can we see here? We see that the first currency, which is NZD, is actually stronger than the second currency, which is USD. So what does that mean? When the first currency is stronger than the second currency, we're looking for buy opportunities. So we're not going to sell the market. We're going to move with the momentum. Remember, the trend is your friend. You never want to trade against the momentum. You never want to trade against the trend. So if the trend is pushing to the downside, you want to move with the trend. You want to move with the market movers, right? The market makers. You never want to trade against them, right? You want to latch on and move with the flow. So the flow of this market on AUD JPY is a downward trend. The flow of this market, which is NZD USD, is an uptrend. Why? Because NZD is strong against the USD, and because JPY is strong against the AUD for the sell opportunity. If that makes sense, drop some 444s in the chat box so that I can continue. If that makes sense, drop some 444s so I can continue. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. So now we know what it is that we're looking for. So we're definitely going to be capitalizing on the weaknesses. See, which weaknesses are they? We've got AUD weakness. We've got CHF weakness. Remember, we're not going to trade anything against the euro. Why are we not going to trade? Can someone tell me in the chat box why we're not actually going to trade anything to do with the euro? I just explained it before I got to the strength meter. Why are we not even going to look at the euro? Why we just tap in the chat box why you think we're not going to look at the euro? No, it's not red. USD is a red folder. It's gray. So someone said it in the chat box. It's gray. What is bank holiday? It's a bank holiday. Exactly. It's a bank holiday. It's a bank holiday. It's a bank holiday. So we're not going to trade anything to do with the euro because it's a bank holiday. So we're going to be capitalizing on AUD weakness, CHF weakness, and then we're going to be looking at NZD, GBP, and maybe JPY strength. Awesome, awesome. I see a lot of people are learning. I see the answers in the chat box. I'm watching. So now that we know what we're looking for and what we're not looking for, all we do now is we just jump on Hourglass and start analyzing the pairs that we want to start trading, right? Now it's about just jumping on the markets and just simply analyzing and looking at which currency pairs you'd actually start trading and which zones would you like to start looking at them. So remember, JPY is actually very, very strong. So we can actually start capitalizing on some JPY movement. We can start capitalizing on some JPY movement. JPY is getting ready. And we're coming on timing right now. So everyone go to AUD JPY. Everyone go to AUD JPY. JPY looks like it might just be coming back to retest a zone over here. So let's go to AUD JPY. Let's see what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes. Potential sell opportunities on AUD JPY. All right, potential sell opportunity on AUD JPY. So let's see what's going to happen in the next minute and 30 seconds. So we always want to take trades and start the new candle, right? Because it gives us enough time to plan our trade and to see it out, right? Because remember, every 5 minutes a new candle arises. Every 5 minutes a new candle arises, and we're trading 3 minutes fixed time off, right? So that's also important to note. We're trading 3 minute fixed time off. So it's very important for you to trade within a candle idea. Remember, one candle is worth 5 minutes. See, this time over here, once it runs down to 0.000, what's going to happen is that boom, a new candle is going to open. So when you're trading, you only want to trade the one candle idea, because remember, every single candle here represents its own idea. All right. So you never want to trade into another idea. You always want to trade within the idea that you are currently in. If that makes sense, drop some 555s in the chat box, guys. I know that might sound a bit confusing, but if you understood what I meant, right, drop some 555s in the chat box. So you always want to trade within a trade idea, right? Because every candle is its own trade idea, right? Every candle is its own trade idea. Okay, so I see the fives. I see the fives, I see the fives, I see the fives. All right, see every candle has its own trade idea. So we're definitely not going to take this trade. It is nowhere near our ceiling. All right, it's nowhere near our ceiling. So let's just, wait and see what's going to happen when the new candle opens. Right. So see, I always tell people, right, no matter how good, of a strength, right? Because stochastic and RSI are both ready. You always want to take trades where at the ceiling and at the floor, right? You never want to take trades in the middle of nowhere, because what might happen is that price might want to push up towards a ceiling or push down towards a floor to continue its momentum, to continue its movement. And also remember, guys, very, very important to note that it's a Monday, right? It's a Monday. We know what happens on Mondays. The markets tend to not want to respect certain zones, tend to not want to respect price action, right? Because they were closed over the weekend, right? So when you're trading on Mondays and on Fridays, I always tell people use very, very good risk management and be very cautious when you're taking your trades, because the market might not respect certain zones and, move the way that it should, or it's supposed to move, if it were any other normal day. And the reason for that is because the markets are closed over the weekends. So on Mondays, the markets are just trying to find their feet. They just, were opened, a couple of hours ago, right? So they're just trying to, navigate themselves, find their feet. So it's a very, very dangerous game for you to go heavy when the markets are doing that, all right? So you wanna just observe, you wanna learn, right? You wanna understand how price actually starts moving, and you just wanna grow from there. So that's also important to note. Mondays and Fridays, you want to be very cautious when it comes to trading. Might have just missed a nice setup on AUD USD though. AUD USD really was a good setup. AUD was really, really a good setup. So we just missed out on a good setup on AUD USD, right? We just missed out on a put opportunity on AUD USD. Now, for those of you who are new, right, I'm just going to go through why I'm saying we missed out on a put idea, why we missed out on a trade, and what we could have done if we were here earlier, right? If we were here earlier and we actually saw this trade, I would have definitely called it out. It was a very good zone, right? See, when we're looking for sell opportunities, because a put is a sell opportunity, there's a criteria that we have to, meet in order to start taking a trade, either on technical or on strategy, right? So let's just, start, breaking it down. See, the first thing that you want to do when you're looking for, a sell opportunity is remember, like I said, from the currency strength meter, you want the second currency to be stronger than the first currency. So that's the first confirmation. See, we can see over here that USD is 47 and AUD is 30, right? USD is 47, AUD is 30. So what does that mean? It means that the second currency is stronger than the first currency. So that's more confirmation and indication for a downward trend, for a downward momentum. So that's the first thing you want to look at. Second thing you want to look at is you want to look at, the arrow. So you want to see a downward arrow, because this is pointing towards the direction that the market might move in this new candle idea, and this new candle trade idea, right? So that's number 2, right? Number 3, you want stochastic to be above the red line. See, why do you want stochastic to be above the red line? Because when stochastic crosses over this red line, it is now entering into an overbought market. So remember, we're buying and we're selling currencies here, right? So what happens when a market is overbought is that people need to start selling. What happens when the market is oversold is that people need to start buying. So this market, as soon as it gets to the red, you have to understand that this market is now what? It's now overbought. So which means that sellers, look at how drastic this market is dropping to the downside. There's heavy momentum on that USD, right? So when, so when stochastic is above this, when this gray line is above, this red line, That's indication that now sellers are about to jump in and start selling this market. Now, the fourth idea, the fourth point is RSI, Relative Strength Index. See, when RSI is below this gray line, when RSI is below or touching, but in a downward momentum, touching this line, right? Then there is more momentum, right? And strength to the downside. See, when it's above this gray line, right? When it's above this gray line, what does that mean? It means that price, has more momentum, and more strength to the upside. See, where was price right now? Price was below and it was touching to the downside, right? So that's number 4. Number 5, you want to look for what? A ceiling. And I always make this example and I say it to people, you want to sell at the ceiling and buy at the floor. Always. You want to sell at the ceiling, buy at the floor. Sell at the ceiling, buy at the floor. So you want to chart down your ceilings, right? You want to chart down. Someone cleared AJ. All right. Okay, that's amazing, right? So you want to chart down, your ceilings and your floors. See, here's what happens. Price tends to want to respect certain zones, right? That's what we call price action, is when price is bouncing at certain levels. See, when you have a ceiling, everything you throw against a ceiling, it's going to ricochet, it's going to bounce at the ceiling, it's going to push back inwards. Everything you bounce towards the floor, it's going to bounce at the floor and it's going to push back inwards, right? So that's exactly what we predict the market is going to do. So let me show you guys something. Look at what happened here. See, the market pushed down, right? So the market had a previous, this was a floor, right? Market pushed up, came back down, it broke this floor. Now, what happened when it broke this floor is that it came back in to treat this new floor as now a ceiling. It pushed all the way down, created new floors, pushed up, came back to respect those floors. Now, what's happening is that, boom, the market is coming back down to that zone, back up to that zone. See, what does that mean? How many times did price react to this level? 1, 2, 3. So more than 2 touches on a certain line is a confirmation that, hey, this is a high impact zone. More than 2 touches on a line is more indication that this is a high impact zone. So number 5, right, is what do you want to see? You want to see a ceiling. You want to see where price has been, right? So price created a ceiling over here, right? So number 6, right? You want to look at previous price action. So what does that mean? What has price been doing at this level before? See, what has price been doing before? Look at what happened here. Price pushed in, respected the zone, out, came back in. So previously, what happened here? Price pushed in, pushed back out. So previously, price is respecting this level. So previous price action is also pointing towards a downward push, because when price gets to this level, it's going to tend to want to respect it and bounce down. So that's number 6. Number 7, what do you want to see? You want to see the EMA, the exponential moving average, above the market, and red if you're looking for sell opportunities. For buy opportunities, you want it below the market and blue or green, whatever this color is, right? See, so what do we have here? We have the EMA above the market. And what color is it? It's red. So that's now another indication, right? So that's number 7. Number 8, you want to see the Bollinger Bands. See, now Bollinger Bands, have to be close or near the area you're going to take the trade. See, for example, around these areas, can you see that the Bollinger Bands were touching here? So that was more indication that we were looking for a downward trend. And look at what happened after it touched. Boom, massively dropped. But look at what happened when it touched at the bottom. It pushed up again, right? So every time the Bollinger Bands touch, a certain market, they tend to want to turn in reverse directions. Touch the blue and pushed up, right? Now it's playing around within, right? But look at here, it was also close to the market. So that's why when it got to this level and respected and pushed up. But see, now the Bollinger Bands are not near areas. So we're not going to count that one, but that would have been point number 8. And then the last point was timing. See, you always want to take trades at the 15-minute mark, the 30-minute mark, the 45-minute mark, and the hour mark. Why? Because price tends to want to respect those zones and make reversals. It tends to want to respect those zones and make reversals. See, this reversal over here, it happened at the hour mark. It happened at 5. See, price was moving in a certain direction. Price was pushing up. And then, boom, what happened at the hour mark? It reversed. And look at what's happening right now. It's continuing to push down with momentum. right? So that is a 9-point trade, right? So every time you want to take a sell opportunity, you want to see how many of these boxes is the market ticking. In order for you to take a trade, I always tell people a 5 and above trade is a good trade. So a 5, 6, and 7 trade is a good trade, but a 8 and a 9 trade is a great trade, all right? A 5, 6, and 7 is a good trade. A 8 and a 9 is a great trade, right? So you want to take anything that's above a 5 when it comes to you charting down on strategy. Now, if that makes sense for all 70 people on this call right now, drop some 6666 in the chat box if that's making sense, if this is making sense. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now that we know our confirmations, now all we're doing is we're going to be patient. We're just going to wait for the market to come to our zones because we know we would like to take, and trade this market, right? We know we would like to take and trade this market. For example, price is coming back to a respective zone over here, right? So what now we're doing is we're just charting down where we would like to take, price at certain levels. See, price is coming back to a zone where it respected. Price pushed into the zone, out again. Now it's coming back in. And it's closing in on the Bollinger Bands. Where's the EMA? The EMA is above the line. Where's stochastic? Stochastic is oversold. Where's the RSI? It might just be a bit touch breaking this level, but I am confident that this market might continue pushing the downside. Why? Is because look at NZD. NZD, when it comes to the strength, is actually stronger than the AUD, right? So this is more confirmation now that we might be looking for a put opportunity, right? We might be looking for a put opportunity, right? So we're going to see how the market is going to behave at this level in the next 3 minutes. In the next 3 minutes, everyone go to AUD, NZD. In the next 3 minutes, we might just be looking for a 3-minute fixed time off put on AUD, NZD. So if the market doesn't break this level and it ends this candle, close to this ceiling, then we might just be looking for, a sell opportunity to continue pushing back to the downside. Because this is a downward trend. If you guys can actually see, it's been pushing and moving downward. So we're going to continue with the trend, right? We're going to continue with the trend. Can you see that every time it pushes into this level, it respects it and pushes out? So this is now giving me more confirmation that price just might be ready for a reversal at this level. See, every time it pushes into that zone, it wants to respect and push back outside, right? Which means that this is a respected zone. So we might just be at a very, very good zone right now. So let's just wait and see. Hopefully everyone is on AUD, NZD. We're going to be looking for a 30-minute, fixed time. Look at what happened. Boom, went in, boom, out again. We're going to be looking at a 3-minute fixed time off trade on AUD, NZD, right? And the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds. The next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, we are going to take this sucker for a sell, a put. See, this is going to be the deciding factor. See, if price breaks this level, then we always want to just rechart our, our market, our graph, and just look for the next potential zone. Look at what's happening right now. That's a massive, massive push. Now, that is a massive, massive push. So all you're doing right now is you're looking for the second zone. What's the second highest zone? See, now I would like for price to come and get to these levels because it's been here before. So I'm just going to be patient right now, see what price is going to do and what price is going to give me. In the next minute and 30 seconds, I would like for price to push into that second zone, which is going to give me more confirmation that price is going to continue pushing to the downside. This market is becoming heavily overbought, right? It's becoming heavily overbought. You guys can actually see a stochastic, right, is pushing deep within the red line, right? So eventually what's going to happen is that, right, the sellers are going to start stepping in, right? We can actually delete this line. So every time, a zone is broken, you just have to rechart, restructure, and just reevaluate your trade. See, we've got a lot of flaws around these levels, right? We've got a lot of flaws. So this is my decider right now, right? See, if price breaks this level, then I'm just going to step back and just observe, because that means that price is now, pushing in the opposite, direction. As much as we have these highs over here, right? But I would honestly like for price to just continue dropping from this level, this zone. So we've got about 30 seconds. So if the next 30 seconds price does not break this level, then we might just still, look for sell opportunities. But if it does, then we're just gonna sit back and watch, observe, right? Because remember, our priority is not to make money. Our priority is to learn, because through learning, then the money is going to be a byproduct of the information. So I would take this trade in the next 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. So let's see what's going to happen in the new candle. Let's see what's going to happen in the new candle. I would like for price to continue pushing down. So let's see. Remember, guys, if you are in this trade, use low risk, because it's a Monday, right? It's a Monday, so we don't want to take any chances with the market, right? We don't want to take any chances with the market. It's pushing back down right now, right? We don't want to take any chances with the market. It's a Monday. Price is going to move irregularly, right? So you want to respect it. You want to respect it. It broke our zone heavily to the upside, but I am still, anticipating a push back down. I'm still anticipating a push back down on AUD, NZD. NZD is still stronger than AUD. All right, so there we go. There we go. There we go. Look at that push, guys. Look at that push, guys. Look at that push. Look at that push. Okay, I'm still confident in the push to the downside here. I'm still confident, guys. I'm still confident in the push to the downside on AUD, NZD. So let's just see how it's going to play out. Let's see how it's going to play out. Might just need more time, but I'm still confident it's going to continue pushing to the downside. There we go. There we go. We are in deep profits, ladies and gentlemen. We are in deep profits. We are in deep profits. Look at that massive push, guys. Look at that. Whoo. When you clear this trade, drop some clears in the chat box. This is how we start on Monday. This is how we start on Mondays, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This is how we open the Mondays. All right. Deep profits on AUD, NZD to start off the month, start of the, the week, start off everything. All right, start of blessings. All right, start of blessings, cleared. Awesome. As soon as you clear AUD, NZD, drop some clears in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen. Cleared. Awesome. So that is our first trade idea, right? That is our first trade idea. As soon as you cleared. Awesome. It's flying deep profits, ladies and gentlemen. We are securing the bag. Cleared. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Look at that massive push, guys. Look at where price is at right now. Look at where price is at, ladies and gentlemen. Price is in the deepest of profits right now. Look at where price is at, ladies and gentlemen. Sheesh. That is a massive push to the downside. That is a deep profit. Even if you rolled over, guys, you're definitely going to clear this trade. Price is deep in profits right now. All right, price is deep. Just see cleared twice. So a lot of people are clearing. A lot of people are making money with me. This is how we start the month. A lot of cleared. Awesome. Amazing, guys. This is lovely. So the reason why we took this trade was for a number of reasons. And I'm just going to point out why we took this trade and why we're making money, and winning on this, trade idea. So I'm just going to point it out. See, the first thing, that gave me, my first confirmation was the strength. See, what's happening over here is we can see that NZD is stronger than the AUD. So that was the first confirmation, right? Second confirmation is we have the down arrow. Remember what I told you guys about the down arrow, right? And where price is at, ladies and gentlemen. So we have the down arrow, right? So that's point number 2, right? Point number 3, what did I tell you guys about stochastic? I did mention that stochastic was where stochastic was an overbought market, which means that we were now ready to start, taking sellers in this market to push market back to the downside. RSI was just above, the market, above the gray line. So let's not count RSI. So we're now on a 1, 2, 3, 3-point trade. Number 4 is look at the Bollinger Bands, guys. Look at where Bollinger Bands are. Remember what I told you guys about Bollinger Bands touching the area. Look at there, touch the area, pushed up, right? So the Bollinger Bands were close to the area, close to where price was when we were taking this trade. Even if you rolled over, guys, you should be clearing right now. Drop those clears in the chat box. All right. So number 4 is Bollinger Bands were close to the area, guys. So that's another confirmation why we took this trade. Number 4. Number 5, do we have a ceiling at that level? We definitely do. See, that's the ceiling. Remember, I charted down this, ceiling before, right? So this is where I would have wanted to take price. What happened? Price closed at this area. It gave us a bit of a fright at the beginning, pushed up, right, to take out liquidity. And then what happened? Boom, it made a massive drop in the opposite direction. So it respected our floor, our ceiling, right? So that's confirmation number 5. Confirmation number 6, what has price been doing here previously? Remember, always when I told you guys that price tends to want to repeat itself. So what does that mean? It means that you want to go back and look at what price has been doing at the specific zone. See what happened here. So the reason why I charted down this graph was I saw that price has been here before. See, price had a ceiling at those levels as well. So this is more confirmation that when price gets to this level again, it might just react the same way it reacted here and ricochet and bounce at these levels to continue pushing down, right? So that was our 6th confirmation. 7th confirmation, guys, was the fact that we were taking this trade on timing. Remember, I told you guys, I always want to take trades at the 15, the 30, the 45, and the hour mark. See, this was the 15-minute mark. So that was a reversal. Remember, price tends to want to reverse. So look at what's been happening here. We had a small uptrend, right? We had a small uptrend, and then boom, 15 mark, what happened? Boom, reversal, right? Reversal. So in essence, ladies and gentlemen, this was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was a, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, look at the EMA. Almost forgot about the EMA. See the EMA, where's the EMA? It's above the market. What color is the EMA? It's red. So that's more confirmation. So this was an 8 out of 10, out of 9 confirmation, an 8 out of 9 trade. Remember, I told you guys that 5, 6, 7 are good trades, and 8 out of 9 is a great trade. And this was an example of a great trade. And that's why, we are in deep profits right now, right? So if this is making sense, ladies and gentlemen, if you're seeing how we're literally making money in minutes on this session, drop some 777s in the chat box. If you make money with me this morning and you're learning, drop some 777s in the chat box. Awesome, 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 awesome. Chat box is flooding. Chat box is flooding, guys. I'm happy and grateful that you guys are actually learning and you're getting value. So this was a clean idea, guys. That's our first trade idea of the month, right? Got that one clean, right? So let's look for our next setup. All right, let's look for our next setup. So we're starting this new month with new money, right? People are winning. People are making money with me this session, right? That's amazing, guys. Happy and grateful for you guys. So we're just going to look for another setup right now. I'm going to look for another setup right now. So we're looking for our next idea. We're looking for our next idea now, ladies and gentlemen. Sun is coming up. It's a beautiful morning. Let me see if I can't change positions so that the sun doesn't block my view. Let's just see. Apologies, guys. Apologies, guys. Let me just quickly do this. Let me just change seats so that we have no sun interruptions. There we go. 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 So let's just jump right into it. Also remember, guys, like I said, from last week, when I tell you guys, to give a certain trade time, right? Don't forget to click the rollover, right? I did mention on, that idea that we took, because I noticed that, for some people, right? Remember, when we're using fixed time off, right? The time is going to vary depending on how much time you have left, for that specific trade, right? So if I say, and I tell you guys, hey, listen, this trade might need enough time. What you want to do is you want to give yourself enough time. You want to click the rollover, right? You want to give yourself enough time, because if you had clicked the rollover on that, idea, right? If you had taken it a bit early, right, you would have definitely, cleared that trade. I saw a lot of people clearing that trade after rollover, after the 5-minute mark, right? But majority of us, we're able to clear that trade. And now first 3-minute idea, 3-minute idea, right? Yeah, I'm definitely not looking at anything to do with the euro. Thank you for pointing that out. Definitely not going to look at anything to do with the euro today. Make sure that you're muted when you jump on the calls, guys. AUD JPY actually in a very, very good position right now for a put ADCHF pulling into a zone. But I don't want you guys to rush into any trades. So relax, right? Our main focus is not to, go after any trades, right? You want to be patient. You want to let the trades come to you, right? You want to let the trades come to you. You don't want to chase or rush after any trade ideas, right? So as much as I'm looking at these two currency pairs, I don't want you guys to do anything rash. I don't want you guys to do anything. You just want to sometimes observe what price is doing. See, look at what I just told you guys. I told you guys that price is going to push into the zone and then it's going to, want to push back. See look at what's happening right now. Price moved into that zone, right? It moved into that zone. Let's look at AUD JPY. So AUD JPY is still hovering around that area, right? So we're not going to take these trades, right? We're not going to take these trades because look at the strength. I don't like the strength. All right, JPY and AUD strength, right, are very, very close together. So that's why it's very good sometimes to just observe and not always just want to trade and not always just want to take trades and chase trades. You wanna be sure of the type of trades. Remember, guys, and I heard this from Ken Brimo, this other session I was listening to him. It made a lot of sense. He said, our main goal here, right, is to invest. We're investors. See, when you invest your money, you want to put your money somewhere where you know it's going to grow. Right, so you want to treat trading like an investment, not just for the sake of you clicking buys and sells. See, and I read this other quote where it said, trading is basically 10% buying, 10% selling, and an 80% waiting. Right, so what does that mean? Like, don't let that get over your head. What that simply means is that trading is actually 20% skill, and only 80% is the mentality, is the psychology, is the discipline. So you don't want to do what you don't want to, chase off the trades. You don't want to, jump in, on trade ideas that are not, aligning to what it is that you said you wanted to do in order for you to take a trade, right? So, I mean, when you put your money into something, you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're putting your money into, it's going to start working and start growing, right? And the number one priority, like I always tell to you guys every single time, is to protect your capital, right? It's to protect your capital. So sometimes you just have to, observe, listen, watch, learn, and then look for the next idea, right? Just look for the next idea. There's going to be plenty of ideas. You're going to make money, like it's inevitable. Like I always tell people, like making money when it comes to trading should be the least of your worries. You're going to make money. Like that is a guaranteed fact. It's just going to be a matter of when you're going to make money. And the when part is going to depend on how good you are at learning. Because I always tell people money is a byproduct of the information. Without the information, there can be no money. Without the information, there can be no results. So if you dedicate your time on learning and understanding, what's going to happen is it's going to transform into your application. It's going to transform into your actions. And then what's going to happen through your actions is you're going to start getting the results that you need and you deserve. And you're going to start seeing, significant, growth. So probably the next trade idea that I would like to take is going to be at the 45-minute mark. So that's when I'd like to take my next trade idea at the 45-minute mark, right? I'm anticipating a reversal at that zone. Just have to now start observing the market and see which reversals am I looking at? Where is the market potentially going to start moving next, right? So that's what I'm literally, going to start looking at right now, right? Is all the reversal patterns that are going to indicate and push towards me charting down the specific currency pair to identify and to actually predict where the market is going to move next, right? So we've got about 10 more minutes until the 45-minute mark. So that's enough time for us to start identifying which currency pairs are we actually going to start looking at, and where would we like those currency pairs to start pushing towards, so that we can actually start charting down, and then just waiting. It's as simple as that. After you've charted down, you just have to be patient, wait for the market to get to your zone. It's as simple as that. Also, guys, very, very important to note, right? This is something I also learned, right? You wanna have your own specific currency pairs that you want to start trading. See, the reason why I'm honestly trading any and every currency on these sessions is because I want to show you guys, how each of them, start moves, right? I want to show you guys, the different types of currency pairs and what it is that we need to be looking for. But I always, me personally, when I trade on my own, I've got my own specific currency pairs that I like looking at. So what you want to do, right, is you want to pick your 3 to 4 best currency pairs, right? Whether it's AUD, USD, CAD, CHF, CHF, JPY, and maybe, USD, JPY, whatever the case may be, right? You wanna choose your currency pairs, and you wanna start focusing on crafting, because each currency pair, right, has a certain price action movement, has a certain movement and style that it actually does things. And what you want to do is you want to go back, right, and back test. See, back testing is just checking what price has been doing previously, how price has actually been moving, because you can predict where price is going to move forward based on where price has been before, right? So me personally, I've got my own currency pairs that I like trading, because I've understand how they move, right? I've watched them, I've seen previous price action, so I understand, what it is that I should be looking for, when I should be looking for, in order for me to take a trade. And it's because I've been focusing on those certain currency pairs for so long that it's actually easy for me to actually capitalize and win more, trade ideas on it, because I actually, more confident in taking that trade, because I know that, this is something I've been, seeing a lot of times on the specific currency pair. So which means that this is a pattern. See, and what do you want to do? You want to follow the pattern. You want to follow the trend, right? If that makes sense, drop some 888s in the chat box. If that makes sense, drop some 888s in the chat box. So you want to identify your best 4 currency pairs, right? You want to identify your best 4 currency pairs, and you just want to hone your skills on those specific currency pairs. You want to back test on those currency pairs and understand and know them from A to Z, right? From A to Z. And that's going to help you a lot, when you then start trading on your own, right? So that you don't actually start focusing on any and everything, and you just focus specifically on those specific currency pairs. Get them, chart down your graph, put down all your zones, and just wait for the market to get to your zone. As soon as you get to a certain zone, you take the trade. As soon as price gets to a certain zone, you take the trade. Simple as that. So we're definitely coming in on timing right now in the next 2 minutes. So I'm just trying to see right now. Honestly, USD JPY, Euro JPY, you can actually have one currency pair with the USD, right? You can also have maybe, either Euro USD or, GBP USD, right? But USD JPY is a very, very good pair. Euro JPY also a very, very good pair. AUD USD also another good pair. Right? Now, those are pairs that you can actually, dive deep into and actually start learning more about them, right? But honestly, any currency pair for that matter, every currency pair has its own unique, pattern, its own unique, movement, right? So it just depends on which one you find easy to understand based on the pattern that it's trying to form and how it's moving, right? So that answer is honestly subjective. It just depends on you. So all you have to do, is, in order for you to have the specific currency pairs, you need to do a lot of trading, right? You need to do a lot of back testing, which is why I always tell people, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a get rich forever. Because see, there is a lot of time you have to put in actually understanding how these markets move. So if you don't give it the time that it deserves, that's going to start reflecting in your results, right? That's going to start reflecting in your results. For example, me personally, I'm here. I haven't slept. I literally haven't slept. I started trading when literally the markets opened at 12 tonight. I gave it in the 5 a.m. group. I gave out trading ideas on NASDAQ. Was it NASDAQ or US 30? I think it was US 30. I gave out a trading idea literally a couple of minutes after 12, and I've been trading since. Not just trading, but just learning and analyzing, back testing. So there's a lot of work that needs to be put in order for you to truly understand how price actually moves. Right. So I don't want you guys to think that it's going to happen overnight. I don't want you guys to think that, okay, this is something that I'm going to learn, in a week or 2. It's going to take some time. But the process is simpler when you have someone who already has the information and knows exactly what it is that they're doing, and then they can be able to share it with you guys. And that's why we have the academy. That's why we have the educators, because they have the knowledge, they have the results, they know what they're talking about. So they're going to shorten your journey. Right? They're going to shorten your journey. So look at price over here. Price, can you see that price has been respecting the zone? It pushed into the zone, broke, pushed back out, opened in the new candle, pushed up into that zone, pushed back down again on AUDCHF. We're not trading now. See, that's another thing, right? See, a lot of people, right? The biggest, mistake a lot of people make is want to trade all the time. All right. See, once you start to trade all the time, you're missing the whole point. Me personally, if it were up to me, I wouldn't trade all the time. Right? Why would I trade all the time? Because every time I put in money, I'm risking. All right. I'm risking my investment. I'm risking my capital every time I place a trade. So if it were up to me, I would trade less, hit my targets with less trades, than trade more just for the sake of trading. As much as I love trading, I'm passionate about trading, right? But it just gets to a certain point where, listen, right? Me personally, I'd prefer to trade less and hit my targets and make more money than trade more, right? Because what's happening? So that's just me. And that's why I always tell people, if you want to be a consistent trader, you want to stick to strategy. Because strategy is going to allow you to trade less, but have a higher win percentage. All right, because you want to make sure that all your boxes are ticked. If some of the boxes aren't ticked, then you're not taking that trade. So that's going to teach you a lot of discipline, a lot of patience, all right, to understand that, listen, I need to take these type of trades and these type of trades only. If it's not this trade, then I'm not going to trade. See, that's where a lot of people lose it, right? They have their plans, but then when it comes to actually executing, they just want to take every single trade. It's like people who trade with every single educator on the roster. You trade with me on the 5 a.m. sessions. You trade at 8. You trade at, on 10. You trade at 2. You trade at 3. You trade at 6. You've already made the targets that you were already supposed to make. You're just greedy now because you just see that this is possible and you can actually start making money. So you just want to trade all the time. See, that's not the whole point of this. And another thing is, you don't want to force the market. If the market is not acting the way that you want to act, remember it's also Monday, right? So we don't want to, be aggressive on Mondays, right? Sometimes it's good to just observe, just watch. See, Mondays are always, times to just analyze and look at how the market is playing out, right? So it's a Monday. We don't want to do too much on a Monday, right? We already make money, right? Which was even not the whole purpose of the session, because I always tell people that my sessions are not to make money. My sessions are to give you guys information, because through the information, you're going to be able to go out there and start making money on your own, right? See, the information is what's going to be the result. It's what's going to give you the results of the money. But we got a clean setup, so as much as we're learning, we're also earning, right? So that's a positive as well. So I'm just charting down right now, right? I'm just charting down, just looking at these zones, looking at an area, but probably going to take a lost trade. If I do call out a trade idea, I'm probably going to take that trade at the hour mark, because that's what I'm looking at right now. We're looking at the hour mark. All right, so I'm probably going to take a trade at the hour mark. This was a nice trade. Can you see that price pushed back into my zone, respected my zone? I charted this graph before price did this. What did price do? It pushed into my zone, boom, pushed up again. So this would have been a great trade if we were, sticking. This is also why it's very important, guys, to, have a few currency pairs. Because see, when you have a lot of currency pairs, what's going to tend to happen is you're gonna be confused, right? Why are you going to be confused? You're going to be confused because you're going to be looking at a lot of things at the same time, right? You're going to be looking at this currency pair, you're going to be looking at this currency pair, and what's going to happen is you're going to start missing trade ideas. You're going to start missing price when it's supposed to be at certain zones. For example, if I was trading my 4 currency pairs and only my 4 currency pairs, and GBP AUD was one of those currency pairs, I would have seen this trade idea and I would have taken this trade idea because I had already charted it down. Right, I had already charted it down, right? So now when you tone it down and you only focus on those 4 or 5 currency pairs, now you can actually be more alert when something happens on that currency pair and you've already charted it down. So you can now start taking, much more, better trades and good trades, right? All right. So if that makes sense, drop some 111s in the chat box when it comes to having your own few currency pairs that you're actually analyzing and looking at. Drop some 111s if that makes sense and you understand the logic behind it, and you can actually see the practicality of it. See, right now, right, I'm just browsing through all the different currency pairs, and because of that, I'm missing out on certain ideas. Why? Because I'm just trying to look at all the different ideas all at the same time. But see, if I was looking at 4 currencies, right, just only 4 currencies, then what's going to happen is that I'm just going to hone in on those 4 currencies. And every time they get to the zones, I'm looking at them because those are the only currency pairs I'm paying attention to. So I'm not going to miss as much as I do when I'm looking at all the different currency pairs. You can start trading on your own whenever you feel like you want to start trading on your own. The best experience, the best teacher's experience. So if you feel like you're ready to go out there and start trading, then like no one is stopping you. No one is going to stop you from, doing what it is that you feel like you're ready to start doing. And you learn through, trial and error. You learn through lessons. You learn through failing. So some trades are not going to go your way. You are going to take lessons, but through the lessons, you're going to start growing as a trader. Right? You're going to start growing as a trader. So I'm looking at CAD CHF right now. I'm looking at CAD CHF. CAD CHF might just probably be our last trade idea for this session. I'm looking at CAD CHF. Now, the reason why I'm looking at CAD CHF, can you see that firstly, CAD CHF, every time it jumps down into this level, it respects the zone. It jumps in, and then what happens is that it pushes back up. So that's our first confirmation, is that, hey, price might just be in a sensitive area right there, right? Price just might be in a sensitive area. But if it does break, then still good, right? Still good. We've got how many minutes? We've got about 8 minutes until the start of until timing. So even if price gives us a push down to these levels, which is what's happening right now, then that's more confirmation that we're looking for, more buy opportunities. Because look at the market, guys. The market is oversold. So what does that mean? It means that now it's about time that the buyers are going to start stepping in. Now the market is oversold. It's below the green line. So now it's time for buyers to start stepping in and start buying this market to the upside. Look at the RSI. What did I tell you guys about the RSI? See, when the RSI is above the gray line, right, that's an indication that price, there's more momentum to the upside, right? Price, and look at what's happening. Price is still, there's still buyers that are trying to push this market up, right? There's still buyers that are trying to push this market up, right? CAD is stronger than CHF. That's also another confirmation, right? So we've got this confirmation. Look at that massive push to the upside. So we've got this confirmation that CAD is stronger than CHF. That's number one. We've got the up arrow. We've got stochastic and RSI both ready, right? Both ready. So what are we waiting for right now? We've got the EMA below the market and it's green, right? Look at what the price is doing right now. Look at our prices pushing heavily to the upside, guys. Right? We've got the EMA below the market. So what does that mean? Right? It means that price has more momentum, to the upside, right? And that's why we're looking at price pushing back up. Price went down into these levels, and then now it's continuing to push back to the upside, right? So, but let's see what's going to happen, in the next 6 minutes. I am still looking for buy opportunities on this market. And I am still looking to take advantage of this CAD strength against the CHF. So we're going to just be patient and see how this market is going to play out. But currently right now, this market is pushing heavily to the upside, right? Heavily to the upside. So it respected this high over here, this ceiling over here. Can you see the ceiling over here? Let me just move this. Look at the ceiling over here. Remember, previous ceilings can turn into floors. So look at what price did. Price broke in to that ceiling, respected it, and continued to push back to the upside. But let's see how price is going to respect and respond in the next 5 minutes, actually. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to look and see what price is going to start doing and how it's going to start moving. Right? We're going to see, we're going to look. So currently right now, price is just galloping to the upside. And it's just pushing heavily to the upside. So let me just go back there. I think with CAT CHF, yes. Look at price now. Look at what's happening, guys. Can you see that price is pushing up now? Can you see that price is continuing its bullish momentum right now? As soon as it came down into these levels, right after that, it just continued to push up. And look at what's happening right now. New candle open and it's continuing to push back to the upside. So, but it might just push back down again, right? It might just push back down. That's what's happening right now. It might just push back down into those levels again to continue pushing up, right? So let's just see. We've got about 4 minutes until the start of the new candle, right? And that's gonna, give us the confirmation that we need. So in the meantime, let me just go look at what's happening on these other currency pairs, right? Let me just look at these other currency pairs. So CAD CHF is pushing to the upside right now, as is. CAD CHF is pushing to the upside right now. So we've got about 2 more minutes right now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got about 2 more minutes until the start of the new candle. Right, we've got about 2 more minutes until the start of the new candle. So I'm going to go back to that CHF-JPY in a bit. I was just browsing to see if we have any better setups, or if we've got anything better that's setting up for us, other than that CHF-JPY, right? Just to be on the safe side, just in case it doesn't push back down into our zone. But I see that that's going to be our last bet, right? That CHF-JPY is going to be our last bet on a downward trend. Okay, we might just be getting something on GBP USD. Might just be getting something on GBP USD. Okay, let me just go back to that CHF JPY, ladies and gentlemen, see what's happening. I was CAD CHF, I mean. Okay, so look at that massive push on CAD CHF. Look at it, it's gone. Look at that massive push to the upside, guys, on CAD CHF. Can you see that? That bullish momentum that I was anticipating was going to happen when price was pushing down into those zones actually happened massively. Look at that, guys. Someone actually cleared CAD CHF. Someone actually took that trade on CAD CHF and they cleared. Look at how deep that is in profits, guys. Right. So we did anticipate that price was going to continue pushing to the upside. Right. It made a massive push. So it looks like it's not going to go back down in time for us to take this trade at the start of this new candle. So that can, be the end of our session, right? That can be at the end of our, session. We've got a 1 on the session, guys, opened, today's session on a high, open today's session with a win, right? And a lot of value. Hopefully you guys learned something, right? Someone else also cleared CAD CHF. Seeing a lot of people clearing. Awesome. So yeah, we've got a 1 on the session, guys. That's 100%, win rate so far, right? Starting the month of, November the right way, on the high, starting this week, starting this month, with blessings, with new money, you know, with a lot of information, with a lot of value. And honestly, you know, it can only get better from here, right? It can only get better from here, right? We're laying a good foundation, right? We're laying a good foundation right now for what is going to be an amazing, you know, month, an amazing, you know, 2 months towards the end of the year, right? So, you know, let's just, you know, be positive, you know, live in a state of faith and gratitude always, and just go out there, learn, master the skill. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Okay, so what I want us to do, guys, is I want us to go back in the group chats, you know, after the session. Let me just stop the recording. Let me pause the recording. I will share the recording, right? I will share the link to my recording. 2-0. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So a lot of people, you know, as much as they were learning, but they were also making money with me on this session, guys. A lot of people, as much as they were learning, but they were doing what? They were also making money on the session with me. So, you know, that means a lot.